Well, good morning and welcome to this week's Head Teachers broadcast. It is Tuesday, the 31st of January, a slightly shorter week this week as a result of not being in school yesterday. And now, last week's squad challenge was all about celebrating the Burns Supper, which happens every year all around the world. And the challenge was to come up with your own fantasy Burns Supper, to think about a location and a menu and guests and entertainment for your own fantasy Burns supper. And some of the entries were really interesting indeed. I was really enticed by the entry by Squad DreamWorks. They had a really comprehensive guest list of very famous uh, people and also a fantastic menu, possibly the best menu that I had seen. And would love to have gone to their Burns supper, but there was no location. So maybe next time, think about the brief. One of the things was, where is your Burns supper going to be? Because the winning squad who won the challenge had a fantastic location in Urquhart Castle in Inverness, and they also had a really good menu, but special guests including the King, Shrek, and J.K. Rowling, and their menu was just fantastically finished off by a dessert of battered Mars bars, so a very Scottish theme there. But the winner of the squad challenge for the Burns Supper, Fantasy Supper, was Squad Styles. So well done to them, and they'll get their chocolate this week. So this week's squad challenge is I'm looking for some creativity, some imagination, some ideas, because this year, for the first time in 5, 6 decades, on May the 6th, Saturday, the May the 6th, King Charles will be coronated. That means that he will have be given the crown and will be crowned king on that date. So I'm wondering what it is that the Banff Academy can do to help celebrate the King's coronation in May. That's a weekend, or is there something that we do before then? How does Banff Academy mark the coronation of King Charles? So if you can get your ideas into me by the end of this week, or certainly by next Monday, we'll have a look at the best ideas. We might actually do them, but certainly the best idea that we get will win the squad challenge. So what ideas have you got to celebrate the King's coronation? That is this week's squad challenge. One of the ongoing squad challenges is the Football Fantasy League, and it's getting quite exciting now at the top of the league because after many, many months of being at the top, Bill Nye has finally lost that position, and it's good to see one of our younger squad Julius Caesar, who are now top of the table. So all those fantasy football managers get looking at your teams and your points to see if you can catch Julius Caesar. So very well done to them. Now, over the last couple of weeks, teachers have been giving merit points to pupils for the howls and for the uniform at squad and during the 3 sessions during the day. And those merit points will be given out to pupils for making sure that they are smart, kind, working hard, and wearing a uniform. And as a result of those merit points, pupils will be awarded prizes. Now, towards the end of this term, there will be the traditional end of term cinema trip. Now, last term we used the golden ticket for a squad dressed smartly to decide which pupils were going on this trip. What we're going to do with the merit points is that each week I will speak to a pupil of the week who has the highest number of merit points, and they will be given a golden ticket, and they will be able to go with a friend at the end of the term on the cinema trip. So each individual pupil will be given a golden ticket rather than a squad. There'll also be a squad league table which will be posted on social media, which will indicate the squad that's leading with the most amount of merit points. And at the moment, I believe that that's Squad Reynolds, so very well done to them. And at the end of term, that squad will get to choose from a menu of different activities what it is they would like to do on their away day. But at the moment, that is Squad Reynolds, so very well done to them. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is about the power of social media. Now, we live in a world where it's very easy to get access to information, lots of information, very, very quickly about lots of different things that are going on. And our access to information has never been as easy as it is now with lots of different social media platforms. But that does come with a bit of a health warning in that It is all too easy to believe absolutely everything that you read on social media. And if you were to believe everything that you read on social media, that you would believe all the conspiracy theories that exist. And sometimes it is really important to check that what you're reading is actually accurate. Um, One of the things that's important that we learn in, for example, modern studies and in history is to check the validity of the sources of the information that you read. So, for example, you need to check where that information came from and if indeed that it's accurate. Because sometimes misinformation can be spread around and that can then create a climate which isn't very positive and can actually make people feel very uncomfortable, can be harmful, and can actually destroy reputations. So it's really important that when you read information, whether it be online or whether it be in newspapers or whether you see it on the television, that you ask questions about what you read. Is it correct? Is it valid? Could it be true? Because there is a certain danger that if you believe information that perhaps isn't true, that can be quite negative and it can be quite uncomfortable for some people. That if you then begin to share information that's not accurate, then that can not have a real good impact on mental health and well-being of all of the people that are involved. And that is what Banff Academy looks to do, is to try and protect people's health and well-being and look at things positively and support people and support each other and be kind and caring. So just a bit of a health warning that in the future, if you read things online that you may have some questions about, check to make sure that they're accurate first before you comment on them. Okay, have a good week, and I'll look forward to hearing your suggestions for the coronation next week, and have a good week.